Adaptive ADAF. Beta.
All right. Today, we'll do something a little bit, I think it's a little more crazy. This is about all the adventures, I guess, we had going out to bars and shit like that. Was it last year we started doing that?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, because I turned 21 back in October. So, like, once you hit 21 and you're at drinking age, drinking by yourself, that is kind of sad, but a lot lower stakes. When I hit 21, I was able to start going to the local bars around campus. The one we went to called Corvette Bar and Grill or whatever, it was about a block next to our campus. So you could walk there, no need to get on a bus or any of that other crap. So we started going at that point. And this bar, looking at it, the front entrance has stairs. Or did it not have stairs? I don't remember quite.
Had some weird, like, makeshift ramp out of bricks, right? Like, right at the front.
Yeah, it might have been like the weird jank looking ramp entrance or something like that.
The whole bar is pretty jank.
Yeah. Well, there's another one which is even more jankier.
Yeah, we're talking about that one too, today?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
let's go.
Because that was that one night where I got, well, I'll get into that part, but that was we bar hopped that.
If you can even call it that, what a shithole of a bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the Corvette bar, again, there's that jank ramp in the front, and they have a lot more of a solid, stable, bona fide ramp in the back. So we have to send security of the bar to go to the back to check our IDs. And just an aside for this, I don't know if you were carded again after that first time going. Well, I don't know how often you've been carded.
I was surprised. They carded me every time.
They carded you? Well, yeah. For me, I guess not many people in wheelchairs go to the bars, or at least I might have just been the first one, especially with how people were reacting, you know.
Yeah, there were more bald guys than wheelchair users, I guess. So
yeah,
I got carded.
But I only got carded the first time. Only the first time, never again. I think it was the case with the other bar too. But when you enter the bar from the ramp in the back, where that door is, you walk into the dance floor area, right where the DJ is and where the music's playing, or at least, yeah, where the brunt of the music is, because they have like a overhead speaker, which, I mean, it gets pretty loud in there. Wasn't there a night you said the DJ like cranked it all the way and everyone was like, ow?
He was trying to kill us. The room is like the size of a bathroom. You can't even really call it a dance floor. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. No, definitely understood. But we don't hang out in this back area. When we get in there, we go in the front area, which is right by the bar, or where the bar is in that room, and where most of the people are. And the first time I went there, I don't know how many times you've been there before, but I thought that was like the area where you're supposed to hang out, because the bar's there. That's where the tables are if you're eating things and getting food there. So I thought it was like the front room where you would sit. But after a few outings there, after more people get into the bar, you find pretty quickly that there really is not that much room to move around in there, especially if you're in a larger wheelchair. It's even harder. It gets a lot more cramped back there. There's a lot less space. But we kept sitting in the front room for the next few outings. the next couple times we've been there. But eventually we decided, you know what? The front's getting a bit too hard to move around and say hi to different people. And so we decided, you know what? Let's try the back room, the one with the dance floor, see how that works out. And we found that we preferred sitting back there. I don't know if that was just because it was easier for me to sit back there and easier for me to move around. And that's why everyone didn't mind staying there or preferred sitting there. And it was much easier to get a spot there, but it was contingent on us arriving there before the rest of the college crowd, which was, they probably got there around like 9-10 o'clock. So we were there at like maybe 8:30, maybe a little later than that sometimes. But because we're there before the college crowd, that meant that the people that are there are a lot older than us. Not like much, but I would say most of the people there are like late 20s to mid early 30s. At least the majority of the older crowd. Maybe they're a few years older than that. But those were the people we'd run into if we were there earlier. We didn't always get there at the right time for that. What'd you think about that spot? What was your perspective?
I mean, for what we had, you know, like, yes, it was right by the bathroom. Yes, it was right by the kitchen door. So we kept having to move every time they had to, you know, but we had room to breathe at least. Like, we could all move around. We could, as a group, we could all huddle together. So
yeah,
no, I didn't think it was a bad spot. I mean, it was no good spot.
Yeah, that is fair.
I mean, yeah, the clientele, like, yeah, I agree with the like 20, 30-ish, but there were definitely some like 50-year-olds that had nothing else going on. Just,
oh, really?
Oh, there's old guys there all the time.
I remember there's that one old woman like the first time we went there. Because I remember too, yeah, when we went there a couple times, like the first few times we were at the Corvette, it usually intersected with karaoke night and the $1 or half off wing. Yeah, the $1 or half off wing deal and the $1 PBRs, which they also had on karaoke night. And looking
back, $1 PBR night, that's a steal. I mean, it sucks, but that's a steal.
Because I mean, back when we were there for that, you and I, we really weren't into the $1 PBRs or the half off wings. Maybe a little for the wings. I didn't touch the wings, of course, but because again, I'm not lifting a fucking wing up to my face and getting it all over myself and having a bunch of drunk idiots clock into my arms on my chair.
Dude, if you were lost in the sauce and Summer saw that, I don't think you would have gotten out of there alive.
No, I would not have. That would have given her even more shit to play with. Oh my God.
So
we'll get to that story though.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you are right about that. But there's one guy we knew. He was really into the $1 PBR night. He'd be like, "It's $1 PBR night, guys. Want to go to the Corvette, yo?"
Look, how much are we allowed to shout out?
Well, no names.
Oh, damn it.
And I know a couple other of our friends, a couple others, they weren't there for the $1 beers. They would indulge in the wing deal and get some of the half off wings. Because I mean, if you're there and it's happening that night, might as well. But for the karaoke part of this, most of the regulars that were there, even some of the students and definitely the adults, were subpar singers. Like, some of them were like, and then a lot of them were like pretty close to awful. But what was funny is the college we go to, there's a music program in it. So any of the music students that were there and doing the karaoke were like a lot better than most of the people there who weren't in that program, and they were like smoking the regulars and the students who like are awful singers. The one guy who's like the campus jerk, basically, he was really bad. And wasn't there also like one of the older guys? Were you there when he was like singing screamo death metal?
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, I know. He was actually like the only one that was doing actually pretty decent. That wasn't in the music program.
Did it fit the mood? No, not at all.
No.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. I never went up to do any of the songs. Did you go up with Bowman once?
No, I didn't do karaoke.
Okay. Yeah.
If you do, I'll drive down. I'll make that drive.
No, I am not that man. I'm not that man.
You could be.
I could be.
If you had to, what would be your song?
In the End, Linkin Park.
Linkin Park? Oh shit!
I can do the rap too. I'm doing the rap for a modern band.
Dude, that'd be amazing. Why are you should do that.
I would. But where we were sitting, which I think you mentioned a couple minutes ago, it's again the back of the bar, but it's right next to the bathroom and the kitchen. So of course you get a lot of foot traffic back there with people having to go there and use the bathroom because, I mean, alcohol will do that. Make you have to pee real bad. But the older crowd that would be there, you know, they'd all try and give me fist bumps or offer to buy me a drink, which maybe if you guys listening aren't like, what's the big deal about that, or aren't really aware. Older strangers, especially people mid-30s minimum or higher, they don't know how the fuck even to interact with disabled crowds or disabled people. I know my brother, I was not there for this, but one day coming out of church with him, like he was coming out of church one day, and one of the strangers who was at the mass was like, comes up to my brother and is like, hey, a few years ago, I knew this, like, I don't know if he was like a blind dude or something like that. Like, if any people listening are familiar with the whole Lazarus story and that crap, this guy like legit thought his prayers could like heal you from your disabled sicknesses.
I forgot about this.
I told you this before, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So he goes over to him and he's like, yeah, I cured this guy of like, he couldn't walk, and I did like some praying reps with him, and then he started walking and shit. So he's like, is it okay if I try that with you a little bit with my brother? And he's like, now he's not this way, but back then he was like a lot more of a timid, shy dude. So he wasn't going to say no. He like humored the guy. So he did one, and he's like, so tell me how you're feeling after that. And my brother, he's like, in his head, I bet he's like, this fucker's a fucking idiot. I don't feel any fucking better. I'm going to be disabled until the end of my life. So like, buzz off. But he was like, how are you feeling? And my brother's like, a little bit better, I guess. And he's like, scale of 1 to 10. My brother's like, 1, I don't know. So he's like, okay, so we're making some progress. Let's do some more. And then my mom was there with him, and she's like, all right, we're done. We're going home now. Bye. See you later. Yeah.
So, but he never got the full treatment? I mean, he had
no, he didn't.
1 out of 10.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. 10 more bursts to go. He would have been walking.
Could have walking in an hour.
Yeah. But like, it also insulted my mom too, because she's like, as a devout Catholic, I am very offended that you think I don't pray enough, or that I didn't try praying, and that all I need to do is pray and he won't be disabled. She's like, yeah, I pray plenty of times. Not for that shit, because that's unrealistic and like stupid to think that'll happen. So she was like beyond pissed off at this guy. I was like, get the fuck out of here. We're going home. Bye. And my brother still tells that story now. I think my mom and my dad still talk about it too a bit. Thank God I wasn't there, because then he would have had 2 disabled people to dote over. Oh my God.
Yeah, you could have been a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I would have been a 2 out of 10. And then he'd been praying for 5 instead of 10. We would have left in like 20 minutes maybe, which wouldn't have been awful. Small price to pay for walking. Yeah, I did. Bro thought he was Jesus.
He really did.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he thought he was like Jesus or one of Jesus's prophets, which I'm like, if you read the Bible, dumbass, you'd realize that that's not how this shit works.
You think that guy can read?
No, definitely not.
Also, I just got
go ahead. No, you first.
I just got a new quote from you. You said, how the hell? How the fuck even?
How the fuck even?
You had to ramp yourself up to tell the story.
Yeah, how the fuck even?
How the hell? How the fuck even, actually?
Well, because I didn't put fuck in my notes. So I'm just like ad-libbing from my notes. And I was like, shit, that would have been a perfect point to throw the F-bomb in there.
Yeah,
like,
step it up.
Such a dumbass. But yeah. And also, like, for the people in the bar that are offering to buy me drinks, I'm like, no, I'm not trusting you to get me a fucking drink anyway. I don't know what kind of drugs you're going to be slipping in there on me. I don't have one of those tamper-proof stickers I can throw on my drinks and shit. It's like, what the hell? No, I don't want you to buy me a drink. Next thing I know, you're probably going to throw a hell of a lot of laxatives. And then I can't go to the bathroom here. I got no lift to get on the toilet. I'd be shitting myself for days.
I'd have to be holding you over it.
Yeah, the cushion would turn brown. No longer black, brown. I don't know how easy shit stains how hard it is to get shit stains out of a black cushion. Oh my God. And then like when you clean it, you'll be like spreading all the...
Oh God, you don't have to talk about that.
I'm not cutting this.
Leave it in.
Yeah.
Leave it in. That was not on the script at all, by the way. That was, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. That completely ad-libbing these. I mean, I got some stuff I can go off of in the notes, but
you're always free balling.
Yeah, I am always free balling.
That's right.
Sometimes literally. Talking commando.
Oh yeah. No, keep going.
Okay. But yeah. So I mean, most of the interactions ended with awkward small talk and sometimes awful singing, but that's usually how it went. Those were the interactions I had until, of course, one night. That is not how things ended up. And so one of the worst interactions that I've had with a stranger wasn't verbal. It was physical. And like, I'm not saying anybody punched me or hit me, because I bet if you're listening, you're like, dude, like fucking press charges. What the fuck are you doing? But it was still physical a little bit. Actually, I mean, yeah, not like beat me up physical, but physical regardless. And it broke the pattern of the harmless awkwardness I've come to expect in bar outings and settings. So one night, we're going over to the Corvette like usual, and we're going up the ramp, and we can see through one of the windows, there's like a woman on the dance floor all by herself, dancing it up like crazy on the dance floor.
It was like we caught a zoo animal like out of their cage.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you could tell it was bothering everybody else because the whole rest of the crowd were all crammed into the second room. Everybody was avoiding the dance floor like it was the plague. Which, I mean, hilarious. So we get in there, like she's still doing her thing, dancing around. So we get to avoid her going into there. And that's like, before we went in there, I was looking thinking like, shit, we're going to have to interact with this person. And I have a feeling I'm going to be the first person they're interacting with. So we get in there, find our spot, again, on the dance floor, because that's where we've been going for the past couple times. And then, like, this woman comes over, plops herself down right next to our friend, who was like, she was taking a break sitting on the stools by the kitchen floor. And then, like, already she's getting, like, way too fucking personal talking about this thing. She's like, hello, my name is Summer. I don't, was she like 40 or something like that? I forget if she said how old she was, but she's like, go ahead. Sorry. But she's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm Summer. I have a 1-year-old daughter. And like, why the fuck are you, why would anyone care? Why don't you just say, I'm a mom? No one needs to know how fucking old your kid is, I guess. Well, I don't know. I'm not a parent myself.
Well, I had other, like, we had a lot of other questions for this woman, not about like her family life. You know, she was kind of coked out of her mind.
That she definitely had to have been on coke, or at least she was like a little drunk, a little high, a mix of both worlds. But like she does that, gets up, moves around, and then I'm just sitting there on the dance floor minding my own business, and this woman comes around like in front of the chair, straddles it, and is like starting to grind up on me and dance up on me. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go again. Another person who thinks they gotta give the disabled dude some action. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this. So I take my chair, back up a little bit, and just turn to the left a little bit, like trying to get out of there and avoid her. She did not take a fucking hint at all. So she figured that and was like, doubled down. And she's like, all right, he's a little shy. He's playing a little hard to get. Let me give him a little bit more.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, regrettably, yes. Yeah. But, I mean, then she goes around and goes back up to my chair. And then now I'm wearing my school lanyard with my school ID on me. So now she goes and she's like twirling with this lanyard and fucking around playing with my lanyard. I'm like, oh my God, she's not going to leave. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And again, like I said, she's probably thinking, you know, this disabled dude probably gets no action ever. So you know what? Let me be nice and give him some action. Which, I mean, I took that whole thing as like pity or faux charity, which both of those mindsets and mentalities irritate the fuck out of me and piss me off like nobody's business. So then, like, she managed to go away after I turned my chair, or like after she was playing with my lanyard, and I turned my chair again from that. She backed off for a little bit. And then, like, a few minutes later, after she goes, like, finishes making out with her husband or boyfriend or whoever he was by the slot machines, she comes back behind my chair and starts rustling through my hair. And then at that point, like, beforehand, I think you thought this whole thing was, like, kind of hilarious, which, I mean, I don't mind that too much. I mean, to an extent, it was, like, not in the moment, but after it was pretty hilarious. But at that point, I think you got the picture that, like, this lady was pissing me off and making me uncomfortable because you're like, you motioned her. You're like, yeah. So, I mean, after that, then she, like, leaves. But, like, when she leaves, she goes over into, like, more of the bar area. And then she's still definitely totally high. And then she's jumping up and down, like, so high she's smacking the lights. And didn't one of the security guards you saw, he went like, ma'am, that's enough.
Yeah, they walked right up. Like, okay, the guard, this bar doesn't have security. They just pulled some random dude from the back to be like, can you get her to leave?
Oh my God.
Like
I
they'll
didn't
have
notice that.
they'll have a quote unquote bouncer. Like it's just some other biker dude looking at IDs. But
Yeah, with sweatshirts. With a
yeah,
sweatshirt
there's
on that says security on the back. But like she made me so uncomfortable and so nervous because I thought like next she's gonna fucking kiss me or some shit like that. So I could not relax until she left the bar. I mean, I was clenching my ass for the whole rest of the night until she left. It's like,
yeah, dude,
I think we all were. Yeah.
Can I just chip it? Yeah. So we had what, 4 or 5 of us there around you, right? We had a decent sized group, and we're not thinking like we knew she was like crazy just dancing around us. We had made a circle around you. Like we thought,
yeah,
we didn't think that this would happen. She came right in and like she gave you a lap dance. But
yeah,
I thought our friend, when she had talked to her at the beginning on the stools, I thought our friend had told this woman to do that to you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That is very wrong. However, I was crying that like she jumped on you and I was laughing hysterically because I thought that's the funniest shit like our friend has ever done. And then when I saw your face and I looked over at her and she was just as like you literally like eyes open, like you're staring at a ghost while she's twirling your lanyard. Yeah. I realized very quick, fuck, this is not okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a funny prank if she did that. Like, I mean, still not the greatest.
No,
but
no,
at least it's not.
It was not funny. I do feel bad for laughing. I should have read the room a little better.
Yeah, but I mean, like, at least it wasn't like, if it was a prank, at least it wasn't like something like her doing it out of pity or like thinking I get no action ever. But yeah, it was that was a story I had after that. But oh my God, was that one of the weirdest nights there. I mean, I had a even stranger night there a couple of weeks later. But after this whole summer night, I was more aware of how quickly a bar can stop feeling casual. So when it was a couple of weeks after this, it was St. Patrick's Day night. So when this rolled around, I already had a sense that things could go sideways. The bar, I mean, when we walked in, it was louder and even more packed than I had ever seen it. Which I don't know if it was more packed like last semester when you were there. This was like the spring semester, like when you were there in the fall semester. I don't know. But yeah, you could barely move around in there, barely even hear yourself think, or barely even communicate with the bartender to get your drinks while you were there. Were you sitting there for a while waiting for your drink to come out from the bar dude? Or was that the finals night that it was really crazy packed?
No, every time you go to that the Corvette, right, you're waiting like 30 or 45 minutes to get a drink. They've got 2 or 3 bartenders. There's nowhere to go. It's just super slow.
Yeah. So that night, it was probably maybe an hour, maybe even longer for that because it was like full. So naturally, a couple of our friends wanted to keep the night going, and after the noise and the crowd at the Corvette, leaving felt like the easier choice. So instead, we decided to go check out this other bar down the street. While we're leaving the Corvette to go to this other bar, as I after I'm down the ramp and walking past the railing right by the ramp, and I think it was a student commented like something along the lines of "those crazy cripples," which I mean, I have never heard a not disabled person, an able-bodied person, use crippled before. So that was like a bit of a shock that I ever heard a able-bodied person use that before. Because I was like taken aback by that whole thing. I was like, I think she said that, but I'm not positive. But I think that is what she said. Which, I mean, you've never heard anyone use that before. I think you said, like,
No.
you've only ever heard me use that.
Right. And
like when
we
I say
both
cripple perks.
We looked at each other, we're like, did we hear her say that?
Yeah. I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's not what happened. Turns out that was exactly what happened. Because I think you found out later from one of our friends that was with us that there were like a group of students outside with this girl who like crazy crippled me. And like another person that was with them, he like chewed this woman out. And I think like some of the other students that were with him did the same, but he was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because I think you were the one that like got the context of that whole thing, or might have been someone else in our friend group. What did you like? Because you found out about that, I think too.
Yeah, well, she knew she had friends that were next to whoever the girl was that like called you that, and at least according to them, like they all were absolutely like pissed and horrified at this lady. Decided like as soon as she yelled, like we did hear yelling after that. We heard like what we thought was crazy cripple, and then a bunch of yelling after it. What was cool was they were yelling at her, like what, literally, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I mean, after that we couldn't hear anything, but yeah.
But I mean, like that was like the weirdest or like strangest thing. I mean, that was the first time I had a cripple call out in the wild, I guess. So that like after a little bit, I mean, I think I got over it, at least for the rest of the night, at least when we got to the other bar. Because this other bar, like, as you know, the Corvette, their ramp, or at least their better ramp, was on the back entrance of the bar. But this one, the ramp was integrated into the front entrance. So that was nice that we didn't have to redirect security around back of the bar. But again, just like the Corvette, I was only carded here once again, because I don't think many disabled people go to this bar. And I think not many older people go to this bar because it's a bit of a kind of, well, not to be offensive, but I mean a bit of a dump. Like, wouldn't you admit, to an extent, a bit of a dump?
Oh my God, yeah. Fuck them. The place is disgusting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't censor anything about this place.
Okay. Wasn't there like a hole in the bathroom floor and all the bathroom stalls doors did not lock?
Yeah, there's a literal hole to nothing on the way to the bathroom. Like that thing must be like, I don't know, 2 feet, 3 feet wide, just a hole through the floor that you have to, it's against the wall, so it's sort of out of your way. But no, the doors don't lock. Even on the toilets, like the back where the water and all the like little pulleys are, like there was no lid. It was just open toilet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting.
So if you're a woman, you just have to squat to piss.
Oh, like they had the seats, or at least in that one, they
but
did,
no lid.
Like to the tank, to the there's no lid to the tank.
Oh,
yeah,
no lid.
Well, I would highly recommend hovering over this too. I would not. Yeah.
I mean, probably you can pick up a lot of diseases off of that seat. but yeah, the bathroom was a fucking mess. But I would say the one benefit of here, because I don't think any self-respecting adult would want to go to a dump of a bar, but I mean, there are tons of college students there, which was nice. No old people having to, or older crowd having to be completely weird and awkward around a disabled person. I think this bar had mostly the athlete students, which I mean, I thought was pretty cool. Because we mostly see the music students and music crowd. So we don't really have much exposure to the athletes or the sports teams outside of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But again, no real old crowd. It's actually, I think, almost all college students. And they had taps there, which if we told you how the bathroom is, you can imagine how they are. Because one time I think you and I both got Angry Orchards, and yours tasted absolutely fine, but mine was like old tasting, a little sour, a little strange tasting. Like I think they haven't updated that tap in a while, or at least the beer got old or expired a little bit. So I mean, that was the one. I mean, another negative is the drinks weren't always the best in comparison to the Corvette. But I mean, it wasn't a perfect bar. I'll admit that, but at least it felt easier for me to exist there and not have any weird energy from strangers.
Well, yeah, you could just park or set up wherever you wanted to, and no one was going to push you out of the way, right?
Yeah, or no one was even honestly going to come up and talk to me.
It was empty too. Like there would be a crowd there, and then it'd kind of go away. And
yeah, a lot of bar hoppers. I think most people, at least there, went between there and the Corvette. Is there any other bar stories we should talk about that I didn't mention here?
We mostly would just like stand in a circle,
try to talk,
couldn't hear shit, couldn't get a drink. Yeah, it wasn't the best. It really wasn't.
Right under the loudest shit sound system, which also made it fucking impossible to talk. Even if we were in the other section, especially with a larger crowd, that's even about just as hard, because honestly, the music was not that quieter than it was on the dance floor, just a little bit. So still giving you issues being able to hear. But I mean, in hindsight, like going through these stories, at least what I thought the bar was going to be wasn't even close to anything like that. Like was not really all that fun. I mean, at times we had some good nights there, but a lot of times it was kind of hit or miss, I would say.
Do you remember the first time we took you to, I think Corvette, right? Like the first time we went out with you, you were 21.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Were you nervous to go out? What was it like?
I honestly was a little bit excited to go out because I thought like I would be meeting all kinds of different people, a lot more people that I don't usually interact with on campus, which if you can't hear in a bar, none of that happened, as you can imagine. But I don't think I was ever like super nervous. I mean, maybe after the whole summer incident, I was a little bit worried that I'd have another situation like that again. But after that didn't happen the second time we were there, that kind of concern kind of diminished. I wonder if that woman is like banned from the bar there or something like that, just in terms of the light shaking and bouncing and all that stuff, and smacking the overhead lighting and whatever. But I guess the whole point of these stories and this episode isn't, bars are scary or everybody sucks or don't go out if you're disabled. It's just, this is what can happen. You go out to karaoke, you get a drink, you sit where there's room, and then suddenly you're navigating someone else's assumptions about your body. And a lot of it starts small, awkward, simple stuff that's easy to brush off, until, of course, it isn't. And if you're listening to all this, and you don't live in a disabled body, this is one version of what a night out can look like. Not because anyone's trying to be cruel, it's just because nobody's really thinking. And also, I think, there's a good bit of drunk people, too, that plays a part in it as well. Because especially then, no one's thinking even remotely. And if you are disabled, well, you aren't overreacting, you're not being difficult, and you're certainly not wrong for wanting to leave. This has been Adaptive AF. Thanks for listening.